How's everybody doing tonight? I want to go ahead and welcome everybody to the Black Money Market News episode for November the 15th, 2017. If you're familiar with our setup, I want to give everyone a few moments here to go ahead and get a chance to join the live stream. So if you are watching live now, go ahead and take this time to grab you something to drink. Grab you a pen and pad if you want to take some notes. But tonight's episode would definitely be something you would want to watch or listen and get some good information about the latest in the financial and cryptocurrency markets. I hope everybody's week's been going well. This is Wednesday, hump day, as many would say. If you have any questions, go ahead and get those ready so you can throw those in the comments below. If you can go ahead and hit like, hit share, definitely try to pull in your family and friends. Next week I will be running a contest, so if you are the most active on sharing the show, you'll definitely have a chance to win you some free Bitcoin next week. So go ahead and get some practice in, share the show, like it, and we'll get started here in just a few more moments. Welcome everybody to this evening episode of the Black Money Market News. Again, my name is Samuel Hill and I'm your host, and this is our fourth show of this new show for some news that you can use when it comes to investing, be it in the stock market and cryptocurrencies. I want to make sure that everyone is very well informed. When it comes to the black community, we have all this extra money that we can spend, but we spend it on the wrong things. We spend it on Jordans, we spend it on jewelry, we spend it on depreciating assets. And I want to help use this show to help motivate individuals out there that have the money mindset to start investing in appreciating assets and help generating some generational wealth that we can make sure we have the keys that we can leave to our kids so that they can have prosperity in the future as well. I want to start off by going over some of the results of today in the market. The Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped to 139 points, or down 0.59%. S&P 500 was also down 0.55%, and the Nasdaq was down 0.47% as well. Bitcoin had a nice rally, up $625.60, up roughly 9.5%. Gold was down $5 or 0.4%. And the Euro Dollar Index traded up on the positive side, 0.07% to 1.1778 euros. And the VIX, your volatility index, had a nice spike, up $1.54 to up 13.29% in the day at $13.13. To start off with the headline news, today, again, looking at those index numbers, you can see there was a strong rally in the Bitcoin market. It was mostly boosted up by the revelation that Square, the popular small business, credit card processing company, was starting to test Bitcoin buying, selling, and holding in their popular Cash App. Now, this testing is only being done with a small number of users currently. So, stay tuned and see if it will be rolled out to a wider, their wider user base. But seeing as the Cash App has been one of the top, financial apps in both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store for quite a while since it's been released, this should definitely help with the increased users on the Bitcoin blockchain network. So that really drove the market to drive Bitcoin up. And definitely stay tuned and pay attention to see if we can hold these next couple of key support levels. And I'll go over that charting later in the show. Also in big crypto news, IOTA, one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies, also had a big spike today, up 25% and up 217% from recent lows of last week. Not a lot of news driving this large rally in the IOTA coin, so I would expect to see it fall off pretty soon. It could just be a classic, kind of pump that you see happen in the cryptocurrency market, especially with some of these smaller cryptocurrencies. A lot of the backers, a lot of the investors that are pushing these altcoins can try to drive more interest by pumping up the value of their coin. So definitely pay attention. If you're an IOTA coin, it might be time to pull the trigger and cash in your winnings, up 217%. Like I said, in less than a week. Bitcoin Cash, completed their successful fork on Monday. The fork was a complete network update. Network speeds have increased nearly 300% on the processing of new blocks to the blockchain. So that would definitely help with processing times on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. Before the fork, there was looking about 1 hour times between block updates, and since the update, it's been averaging between 10 and 20 minutes per block update. Another key thing is that the block sizes themselves have decreased in size as well. So there is some speculation if the previous update to the 8 megabyte block size was necessary at this time. Moving on to broader market news, U.S. core inflation gauge picks up for the first time since January, up 0.1%, meeting expectations. So that's a good indication that the overall U.S. economy is on the up and up. Some things to be a look at and look aware of, and I'll go into deeper details as we go into our real charting exercise later tonight. Is that the money flows have started to wade out of the major markets. So when you see these money flow indexes started to pull away, normally that can be the sign of a end of a rally or a sign of a upcoming pullback. So these next couple of days are going to be very important to see what type of levels will be held going into the weekend. As stated earlier, the Dow ended down 138 points, but at its lows of the day was down 160 points. So definitely entering into correction territory, but not fully correction status. Correction is normally a pullback of 10%. Right now, we're about 3 to 4% off the recent high, so we're getting there, but nothing to be worried about. This is normal ebb and flow so far of the markets, but definitely some indicators that we definitely, if you're invested in the market, to pay attention to. You may need to start putting on some more defensive positions to help, protect the gains you probably made over the last year. Moving on. I want to go ahead and start doing some charting with you guys. So educate yourselves on how you can use some technical analysis to improve your performance of your stocks. So let's see if I can get this switched over here. I want to start off looking at the chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's see here. Boom. There we go. All right. So this is a live look at the charts here for the Dow Jones. Let me just close some of this other out. Boom, boom, boom. So we can get a better view and look at this. So this is the daily chart for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, showing you roughly the last 90 days. And as you can see, over the last week, we've kind of pulled off from the all-time highs and are in a new downward trend. We have had a bearish crossover in the MACD. If you look right here, you can see that bearish crossover looking on the MACD with some good momentum to the downside. Again, speaking of the money flows, looking at this chart here at the bottom, let's see, let me close that part. Bam. All right, so I'm gonna pull up this money flows. As you can see, we're starting to get a pullback in the money flowing into the market. More money is being drawn off the market. That's definitely a sign of some resistance, some opportunities again to start looking at some defensive positions. Let's take a look at the DIA. The reason I want to take a look at the DIA is because with the diamond, as many will refer to, we can definitely take a look at the put to call ratio. So I'm gonna throw this up here on the chart real quick. Boom. So I'm gonna bring this out a little bit further. Let's take a look. Yeah, that's about a year view right now. So as you can see, over the first part of the year, there was a nice downward trend. So mostly calls being bought in the market, and pretty much since July, we've had a pretty steady flow, an increase in the buying of puts, and over the last week or so, you definitely see since the market started to taper off another increase in put buying. So if you are, currently in some winning positions, now might be the time to start adding some put protection to, cover your wins, so you don't have to worry about taking any L's in the market. Another chart I want to take a look at would be the VIX. This is your volatility index. This kind of weighs the downward momentum within the market, the volatility, the rapid expansion of the marketplace. So people normally buy VIX as a way to, insure against market decreases. And you can definitely see over the last week, you've got a good 50% easily rally on the VIX. It's putting in lows of nearly $9 on November 3rd, and since then, today you had a spike up to 14.5. So if you are again, paying attention to the market, now will definitely be a time to take a look at, getting some put protection. Buying some protection to the downside, so if there is this continued correction in the market, you aren't taking any L's. I always say, if you are looking to put in a new position, if you aren't active in the market, once this correction, if it does happen, continues, would be a good time to buy in. Never let a downswing deter you. Always let a downswing become an opportunity. When you have these broad market changes, you definitely want to take a look at your strong companies and see how they're doing. And you'll still have some winners on the up and up that will still be gaining even in a downturn. And one of those companies I want to show you guys real quick is Roku. If you are into your cord cutting, or if you have a smart TV, a good chance you may have a device that is powered by Roku. Earlier this year, towards the end of September, they had their IPO and they went public on the New York Stock Exchange. And right now, since their first earnings report back on November the 7th, November the 8th, it's nearly doubled. Actually, it did pull a double. It's kind of pulled back a little bit, but still, it was trading around 19, and it spiked all the way up to a high of nearly $49. It pulled back a little bit yesterday, and today was you know, a little bit more in the positive territory as well. As you can see, a lot of action is going on Roku. So if you are, you know, looking at ways to diversify your portfolio, you know, always take a look at, you know, companies that are building some moats around there, and you know, keeping them from competition. You know, they are getting competition from the likes of Amazon and their Fire Sticks, Apple and Apple TV, Google and Google Chromecast. But Roku has been a very strong performer, and their stock has been performing as good as well since they've gone public. Been having some questions about the weed market, so I want to take a look at some public options if you want to trade weed. My number one pick, if you are looking to trade weed, is TMJF. Is located on the Toronto exchange, so you have to make sure you have access to the Toronto exchange. It's for the Canopy Growth Company. 2 weeks ago, there was major developments that Constellation Brands was buying 10% of it, and since then you've had a nice rally in Canopy Growth, nearly up 50% from the news of that buy-in from Constellation Brands. Constellation Brands owns a lot of your beer brands. I believe they own Modelo, as well as some other major brands you may be more familiar with. So if you are looking to maybe get a toe in the weed market, my number one pick would be Canopy Growth Corporation. Another good pick that's been performing and was up 10% today is CNAB, or the United Cannabis Corporation. Still a penny stock, you know, trading at 62 cents today. As you can see, not, you know, steady on the downtrend over the last few weeks, but today was a nice spike up, nice 10% rally. But again, when you talk about penny stocks, you know, as you can see here, if you were in the stock earlier this year, it was nearly $2, and you're now down to the 60-cent range. So that's a large loss if you were in it earlier this year. Another major company I've been following is MJNA. It was actually the first publicly traded marijuana company, and it's for Medical Marijuana Inc. They do a lot of investing in cannabinoids and pharmaceutical grade cannabinoid oils. They are very, you know, entrenched internationally. They just earlier this year launched in Brazil with some of their brands. They're in Canada with some of their brands. It's also another penny stock. As you can see, it's kind of been rallying off the back of the news of the investment into Canopy Growth Company. But as you can see, if you take a look, pretty much year-to-date performance, you know, you're down easily 50%, and that even after the recent rally. So if you were in it earlier, now would definitely be a good chance to, you know, pull in some winnings from or you know, claw back some of those losses you might have taken. If you want to look here, we want to zoom in here to the daily charts. There's some major levels of support, of resistance that's kind of came support that we want to see it hold. If it can hold this 9-cent level and return back to the upside, and doesn't finish this MACD bearish crossover, you could definitely continue to see some rallying in the MJNA, you know, in medical marijuana. Looking at some other major companies today, again, Square, off the news that they were testing Bitcoin, had a nice little 2% rally today off of that news. Square has been performing very well since their IPO earlier this year. Earlier this year. Early last year. Up nearly a good 5 banger, you know, from the lows of roughly $8, trading at $40.66 today. If you paid attention to some of my posts, I had recently bought some call options prior to the latest earnings and caught a nice little 200% gain off of my investment, investing in Square. If you know what I do, I trade a lot with options as a way to help increase my portfolio. and protect myself from the downside. So if you are looking to invest in some different brands, Square is definitely a good one to look at. Pretty much a lot of the strong companies in the credit card processing market has been performing well. Visa, MasterCard as well, both been performing very well. Taking a look at some of the more market charts, I want to take a look at the IBB, which is for your biotechs. It had a nice, dollar rally today, up 0.39%. Give it a second here to load. Come on, Schwab. All right, since that's taking a second, I'm gonna go ahead and see if there's any questions out here. Definitely want to make sure we can provide you guys with answers and be able to help educate you guys on what's going on in the marketplace. So if you have any questions, again, let's go ahead and drop those off in the comments below. Don't see any right now, but if you are looking for some stock advice, stock answers on how you can trade in the stock market or invest in cryptocurrencies, definitely tune into our next episode or shoot us a message at the Black Money Market News page. Also, don't forget, you can also catch full wrap-ups of these shows on our YouTube channel. So definitely check for Black Money Market News on YouTube, as well as if you want to be a contributor, help support the show. Definitely check out the links below on the bottom of the screen. Support Black Money News through Patreon at patreon.com Black Money News or paypal.me at Black Money News. Other than that, since no questions tonight, I'll try to keep these shows short to the point. We're running just at 22 minutes. Try to keep it under 30 minutes. So I'm going ahead and wrap this show up for tonight. I will see you guys this coming Friday, so 2 more nights from now. We'll see you guys on Friday night with another wrap up for the week. And I will be giving the full details of next week's Bitcoin giveaway. So definitely stay tuned for Friday night. Y'all have a good evening.